The Caledonia Warriors are heading back to the state volleyball tournament for the first time since 2016. Scott Koepke, head coach of the Warriors, taking the time to preview the state tournament for us. And, Coach, what's made this a successful and a special group?
I think there's a lot of kids in this group that have gotten out of bed at 5:15, 5:30 in the morning for years and put a lot of time in. And I think that it's neat to see that they get to do something really special to reward them for all that hard work, because it's been a lot. So I'm really super happy for them.
Excellent sectional play for your team. The last two games, the sectional semifinal against Zumbrota Mazeppa went to 5, and then Saturday in the sectional final, you were down 2-0, but came back and won 3 straight against Cannon Falls. What got it done in those 5-setters in postseason?
Yeah, just a huge congrats again to Zumbrota and Cannon Falls, and Chatfield too. Three of those teams are ranked in the top 10 in the state, and the one that wasn't ranked, was preseason number 1 before Madison got hurt. So, we knew it was going to be a gauntlet going in there. It was just going to be a scrap, and we figured it was going to be 2 5-setters. We've worked a lot on Darren on the process this year. How to handle ourselves, how to prepare, how to stay positive. And I think in the end, that really was what might have, given us an edge, because we were down 2 match points to Zumbrota. And, we fought back in there. And then, we, although we didn't start out, like we maybe would have wanted to against Cannon Falls, the girls never got really, we call it green, yellow, and red. They never got into the red. They were struggling, but they were hanging in there. And I think that once we got a few things fixed up a little bit and going our way, then we started to kind of get some flow going. But I think had we gone in either of those matches, down into that red zone where it's tough to get out, I don't think we would have made it out of either one of them.
You talk about the process and keeping that positive mindset. That's, from the outside looking in, that's easier said than done. What do you credit that to? How do your kids keep that positive mindset even when things might not be going your way in the moment?
Well, I think it starts before the season starts. I guess for any coaches out there that are tuning into this, I would say that it's probably about 85% the process and about 15% the volleyball. We were working on it before the season started even, and each of the kids had a grit board, and they had daily goal setting and reminders. They'd carry cards around in their backpack or their pocket, with positive statements, and we knew going into this was going to be very difficult. And the whole idea, Darren, is kind of to understand that you're going to get low. There's going to be tough spots. There is in athletics, you're just going to have moments, but just not to get too low, and try to get yourself back out of those spots as quickly as you can. And I just applaud our kids for doing a great job of that.
And from a schedule perspective, you mentioned the gauntlet that Section 1 has been. I know you've been to tournaments up at Lakeville North, Apple Valley, the volleyball showcase as well. From a scheduling perspective, do you feel the competition that you have faced got you ready for the moments last week and has gotten you ready for this state tournament?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Some of the balls that the Zumbrota kids would hit were pretty impressive. They got some kids that can just gas the ball, and Cannon Falls as well. And Madison is just a crazy athlete who can really bring it. And when those kills go down, our girls don't bat an eye. They don't blink. They've seen it before. They've gone against teams with 3 or 4 of those players coming at us. When you play against East Ridge and Champlain Park and some of those teams, it's nonstop. You learn to adapt to it. And I think that we're very comfortable in that environment where we understand when a huge kill goes down the line, we're like, yep, they got one, move on, next serve. And I think that helps us a lot.
Now that you've qualified for state, and it's definitely something worth celebrating, for the first time in 7 years, your program has gotten there. How do you transition from appreciating that accomplishment to getting back to work to be done mode?
Well, as soon as we got in the locker room afterwards, there was a little celebration there, and then we talked right away about what goal do we want to set next, and they all to a T, they want to win a state championship, so that's our next goal. And we had the weekend, Saturday night and yesterday was, there's a lot of prep that goes on, but we take time to enjoy it. But today we'll talk about the game, and I have some just neat things to share with the girls, how proud of them we are, and then we'll kind of move on to Concordia Academy and just kind of start the same process that we had going into the section tournament.
You mentioned you got the number 3 seed in Concordia Academy, going to be your first round opponent. What have you been able to come up with about them?
Well, we beat them in the championship of the Apple Valley tournament, so we know them. We're familiar with them. They're familiar with us. They have a strong team. They have a very good outside. They have some capable middles, so it's going to be a match right out of the gate. Minnesota volleyball, Wisconsin volleyball, Iowa volleyball. It's so strong that the state tournament is getting to be less and less where there's any teams that aren't strong. So we'll be ready to go. We think that we can compete well with them, and but like any matchup at the state tournament, you have to play well, and so we'll just keep working on what we're doing, and I think we'll be in the mix.
All right, Coach, congratulations on getting back to the state tournament, and hopefully you can have as successful of a run as possible once you hit the XL Energy Center later this week. We wish you best of luck, and congrats again.
Yep. Thanks, Darren.
Scott Koepke, head coach of the Caledonia Warriors. They're getting ready for the state tournament coming up this week, taking on Concordia Academy in round number 1.